Welcome to this video from IQ Wealth Calculators, where you will learn financial concepts and how to calculate them. Today, we are going to talk about internal rate of return. First, we'll explain what it is and how it's calculated, and then give an example. The internal rate of return, or IRR for short, is a rate of return that is calculated based upon a series of cash flows that is given or projected from a potential investment. The technical definition or equation for calculating IRR is this. The internal rate of return is equal to the discount rate that causes the net present value of future cash flows to equal zero. That was a mouthful, so let's break it down. First, if you aren't sure what net present value is or how it is calculated, very briefly, it is the method by which future cash flows, whether negative or positive, are discounted back to the present value and then totaled. By figuring out what discount rate causes net present value, or NPV for short, to equal zero, you'll figure out the IRR. Let's look at an example using the NPV IRR calculator from IQ Wealth Calculators. Inside this calculator, there are several fields. First, the number of years that you want to project cash flows. Next, the initial investment, which will represent our cash flow at time zero. The discount rate that is used to calculate NPV, and the annual net cash flow. Also included is the investment appreciation rate field and the cash flow increase rate field. These fields allow you to project increases in your annual net cash flow and your initial investment. Let's keep the example simple by only projecting out 5 years and investing $100,000. Then let's say this is a good investment and the investor expects to receive $25,000 back over the next 5 years. You can see this down here in the data table for a total of $125,000 in cash flow. By entering these numbers and assuming that we can someday sell our investment for $100,000, the same price we paid for it, we have a calculated IRR of 25%. Even simple math could figure that out. This is assuming we can sell our initial investment back at the end of the 5 years for the same price for which we bought it. What happens if our initial investment declines by 5%, or rather 10% per year? By doing this, in year 5, our initial investment will be worth $59,049. But because our cash flows are so large, we still have a calculated internal rate of return of 19.44%, with a positive net present value of $31,434. So how does this calculator help us understand how the internal rate of return is calculated? If you'll remember, the internal rate of return is the discount rate, which causes NPV to equal zero. So let's test it out with this calculator and enter 19.44% as our discount rate. You notice that our net present value is now negative 12, which is very close to zero. We probably just need to add a third decimal point to get it closer to zero. So let's try that. Now we're at negative 1, so we are very close to zero. So our discount rate at 19.436 causes our net present value to almost equal zero, which equals our internal rate of return. Now that you can see the relationship between net present value and internal rate of return, we hope that helps you gain a better understanding of IRR. You should also check out the charts to see how NPV and IRR behave over the life of your investments and its projections. You can see those here. Just click on these buttons. We hope you found this video useful, and be sure to subscribe to our channel to get more useful videos like this one.